Misalignment in schools. As the title suggests, this episode looks at ways in which misalignment might occur in schools. If you haven't already watched the previous episode, called Alignment Matters, then I suggest that you do that now. It explains some key terms that I use in this episode and which are often misused in education. You can find the previous episode in the resources section of the Belief to Practice website. Here's a quick recap of the previous episode. Alignment matters because if you don't know where you're going, or you're not all pulling in the same direction, you're unlikely to end up where you want to be. The things that need to be aligned are purpose, your why, vision, your what, and mission, your how. These are all underpinned by your values and beliefs. You could argue that values and beliefs should come first, so let me redraw this. In schools, the vision, the what, is set out in the specified curriculum, and the mission, the how, is your pedagogy, which encompasses both your pedagogical stance, your understanding of how people learn, and your pedagogical practice, the ways in which you support learning. Let's now look at some ways in which misalignment happens in schools. Firstly, and very commonly, the purpose, the why, is not aligned with the vision, the what. For example, if your purpose is to prepare young people for future employment, but your vision, which you must remember in schools is set out in your curriculum, is a traditional content-based curriculum, then your purpose and vision are misaligned. The curriculum is not focused on the competencies that young people are most likely to need in their future employment. Another common example of misalignment is where a vision statement, which might actually be the purpose, is not aligned with the specified curriculum, with the vision. For example, if your vision statement says that your purpose is to ensure every child reaches their full potential, but your vision, your what, is to teach a standard curriculum to everyone, then your vision statement and vision are misaligned. A standard curriculum is unlikely to enhance the interests, passions, or competences of every child. It's unlikely to enable every child to reach their full potential. Equally commonly is the situation in which your vision is not aligned with your mission. For example, if your purpose is to help young people flourish, which is aligned with your vision because your curriculum focuses on the competencies that young people will need in order to flourish, but as part of your mission you only assess the basics and a knowledge-based curriculum, then your mission is misaligned with your vision. Where we don't assess the things we claim are important, there is misalignment. This next example involves misalignment between your beliefs about how people learn, which underpin your pedagogical stance, and your pedagogical practice. If you believe that people are intrinsically motivated to learn, and you use star charts or other forms of extrinsic reward, then your mission, how you support learning, is misaligned with your beliefs. Your pedagogical stance, your belief in intrinsic motivation, aligns with a constructivist or sociocultural theoretical stance, but is not aligned with your pedagogical practice, which aligns with the traditional or behaviorist theoretical position that views motivation as extrinsic. We explain why this sort of misalignment is important in from edtech to pedtech, change in the way we think about digital technology. There is also often a mismatch between how people learn and how we support learning, because we don't understand how people learn. Our beliefs about how people learn may be flawed. So far, we've talked about alignment as if it were unidimensional. We've assumed that we just need to align our values and beliefs, our purpose, our vision, and our mission. However, education systems operate at a range of different levels. As a minimum, they operate at the level of the country, the state or district, the school, and the individuals within the system. At the country level, you may have a national curriculum, high-stakes assessments, and other policies that specify the country's vision and mission. At the state or district level, there may be region-specific policies and expectations. At the school level, there'll be school policies, norms, and expectations. All of these policies and expectations, at least implicitly, set out values, purposes, and pedagogical positions at that particular level within the system. Then you have the individual teacher who will have their own beliefs and values, their own purposes, their own vision, and their own pedagogical stance and pedagogical practices, their own mission. For an optimal system, there needs to be alignment within each level and between each level. That may not be achievable, but it is what we should be striving for. So, let's look at some examples of misalignment between levels. Commonly, there will be misalignment between the state or district level and the school level. At the state or district level, politicians may specify education policy that schools are expected to follow. A politician may believe that if they make radical changes in schooling, that will upset parents, i.e. future voters, and that might reduce their chances of being re-elected in future. Thus, their purpose might be to be seen as a safe pair of hands, so that they increase their chances of re-election. This might feed into the politician talking about their vision being to enhance 21st century skills, whilst in practice they retain a curriculum that focuses on the basics and core content. Following from this, their mission might focus on using internationally recognised metrics of success, such as the PISA assessments, so that they don't rock the boat. In contrast, a school leader, a principal, might believe that her responsibility is to do the best she can to serve the needs of all her learners, leading to her purpose being to help all learners in her school to flourish. The school curriculum might therefore extend beyond the mandated state or regional curriculum to include a focus on 21st century skills, and the school's mission, the pedagogical expectations, might align with how people learn and include assessment of all the things that they value, including those 21st century skills. In this scenario, there are clear misalignments between the state or regional level and the school level. This next example involves misalignment between the school and an individual teacher. Whilst both the school and the individual teacher may see their purpose, their why, as being to help all their learners to flourish, due to different beliefs, the school may wish its teachers to focus on teaching those things that will be assessed, and thus focus on teaching to the test, because their belief is that this will maximise students' future opportunities. An individual teacher, on the other hand, may believe that learners' fulfilment will come from finding their passions, and thus the teacher may wish to focus on supporting learners in developing the competencies that they need in order to extend their passions, in order to enable them to flourish. The individual teacher may feel that teaching to the test does not align with how people learn, and will thus undermine their effectiveness. Given that there are often a large number of individual teachers within any one school, the scope for misalignment between the school and any one teacher, or indeed between the teachers themselves, is considerable. As we have seen, there are a great many ways in which misalignment can occur, both within each level of the system and between each level of the system. Whilst achieving alignment within and between levels of the system is the optimal position to be in most instances, this will be an aspiration. It's unlikely to be fully realised. Nonetheless, it is important to maximise alignment. In the next video in the series, which is called Enhancing Alignment in Schools, I will explore ways in which to maximise alignment, with a particular focus on alignment at the school and individual teacher levels. You'll be able to access this video from the resources section of the Belief to Practice website.